Yes guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm joined by Warren. Now it's the end of the season, we're going to react to our Premier League predictions that we made all the way back before the season. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So we got the first clip running, so let's see and react to what me and Warren said. Who do you think will get relegated this season?
All right. Worth noting for the viewers, obviously, it's 5:30 on deadline day.
Can I just stop that there, right? So I think we made too much emphasis on player signings rather than who we thought would be a good team together, in my opinion. Because we talk about the signings a lot. I know signings make a difference.
Yeah, I agree. I think with one particular player,
Yeah.
we put a lot of emphasis on him. Yeah, I agree.
So let's continue the clip.
So there's still time for people to get deals done. But I've gone Norwich, Watford, Southampton.
It's not bad. Yeah, 2 out of 3.
You know what I mean? That's not bad.
That is good for you.
Norwich spot on, Watford spot on. Southampton were in the battle. They weren't a million miles away.
They didn't have a great season. I think they finished like 16.
Yeah, they weren't a million miles away, I don't think.
But yeah, I think your predictions were good for the relegation. But later on, I think not so good for me as well. For me as well.
Dodgy ones.
Me as well. But let's see what you had to say about the 3 relegated teams.
I don't see enough in those squads. As we say, deals are being done today, maybe on later on today as well, but I just don't see enough in those squads.
And I've got Norwich bottom as well. Oh yes, I had Norwich bottom.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I said no one with a great sense of mind would pick Norwich to stay up. So roll that clip.
Anyone with a great sense of mind will think they'll stay up, I don't think.
See, I told you.
Easy.
Bounce up and down the leagues anyway. Yeah. So it's not like the end of the world if they do get relegated. They've still got young players, for example, like Aaron's, Cantwell, who can still move.
I thought Cantwell would go to like a bigger club, but obviously he dropped into the Championship with Bournemouth, right?
Yeah, he didn't play at all for Norwich.
Yeah, so I thought he would get that move to maybe a mid-table Premier League team.
Yeah.
Because he was one of the stars when they were last in the Prem and when they were in the Championship when they got promoted. So I don't know what the future holds for Cantwell. Or maybe Aaron's. Aaron's wasn't as good as he was the first time they came up.
Yeah.
But Norwich overall just disappointing as normal.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be interesting to see what Pookie does. Because again, without his goals, they'd have been relegated by December.
Yeah,
so,
I think he got 11 goals.
So it'll be interesting.
Apart from Norwich were Brighton and Burnley.
Yeah, I got Burnley right. But Brighton, I had a stinker.
That's awful.
I had a stinker.
Top half Brighton
I had a stinker.
to get relegated.
I don't know. Because later on when you'll see the clips running, I put Watford to stay up. Obviously.
Yeah.
I said because a few of my dad's have got Watford season ticket. He didn't actually go to any of the games, but and a few of my friends support Watford. And I've been to a few Watford games before because I've got my dad's season ticket. It was more hope than anything.
Yeah.
But Watford were really bad. They started with Cisco, then they moved on to, who was it after Cisco?
Did Hodgson take over straight away?
I don't know, but yeah, then they ended with Roy Hodgson and they just couldn't win at all. With Ben Foster's leaving because he's had enough.
Yeah, he's just going to do YouTube full time.
Yeah, like me hopefully. So make sure you subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff.
Get the collab with Ben Foster.
that would be massive. But let's talk about Brighton. That was a howler. I even said, before the clip.
Brighton, I think they'll go down. But they did sign Cucurella, who used to play for Barca. Yeah. Who's he just come from?
Getafe, something like that?
Is it?
That is good knowledge.
That is good knowledge.
But he was like left wing back. Him and Solly March could rotate, for example. But I do think the progress that Brighton have shown isn't enough for me to be like, okay, cool, they're going to stay up.
Oh, mate.
It's not great.
What do I say? They had such a good season. I was bigging them up. But again, I focused too much on the transfers. And obviously Watford made a few transfers, like Sissoko I thought was good.
Yeah.
As in like a transfer, not the way he played. But Brighton didn't make any like big signings. So I'm making a mistake about focusing my energy on the transfers to make.
I think, links to what you said earlier, I think one thing that we did is we placed such an emphasis on the players and we forgot about the managers.
Yeah, I agree.
And there are other clubs that definitely applies to later on as well. But I think Brighton was a big one there because Graham Potter is unreal.
Yeah, he is a very good manager. So I think I had Brighton, obviously before I started YouTube, in my own predictions, I had Brighton to go down as well. So I'm not going to make the same error, but imagine I don't say Brighton to go down and then they go down. Yeah, that's my fault. Yeah, let's move on to the next clip.
Mopé and Trossard, McAllister, I just don't think they've got enough, really.
Positions last year was pretty much done and dusted with a good few games to go. I don't think that'll be the case this year. I do think that the likes of Burnley and Brighton and maybe even Newcastle...
We didn't know at the time the takeover for Newcastle.
Yeah. So the Newcastle takeover happened way after.
Yeah.
I don't think there was even much talk of it when we made this video.
Yeah.
So obviously that changed things massively, as did manager changes. That had a significant impact.
Newcastle were in trouble, but they started the season not too bad. I think
weren't they? They didn't win until like their 12th
Oh yeah,
game or something.
bad,
They were like rock bottom, and then Eddie Howe and the money just got them out.
Will be in that battle. Alan Saint-Maximin, he's an exciting player when you support that team, but I don't think his end product is quite good enough to keep them up on his own. I think he needs Wilson to play well, and if he doesn't, then they're going to be in trouble.
I still stand by it. I think the quality that they added because of the takeover in Bruno Guimaraes and Trippier, that helped because it meant that Saint-Maximin didn't need to do it on his own.
Yeah.
But I still don't think he's got the quality to be a top level player.
He will be with the takeover, he'll be the last one to be replaced.
I think so.
But he will be part of it. But obviously Trippier, Guimaraes, but the signs are like Trippier was injured for quite a while.
Yeah.
But Dan Burn and Matt Target very well to keep them up.
Dependable Premier League players,
Southampton for me is probably the rogue one, and purely on the basis that the players they've sold their best striker in Danny Ings.
He didn't do too much at Villa.
It's his injuries, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's his issue, is when he played, he did score goals, but that's probably why they sold him, because his injury record's not great. I think Southampton did struggle for goals.
Yeah, James Ward-Prowse was their top scorer with 10, I think. But
again, he's someone that I don't think I personally didn't pay enough attention to. He got them through games on his own, I think.
Who's already scoring goals at Villa. That's why I think Southampton will be there. I don't think they've got a lot of know-how. Whereas Burnley, on the other hand, Sean Dyche...
I think Sean Dyche has...
I will die on this hill. If Burnley didn't get rid of Sean Dyche, I think they probably would have...
Yeah, I agree with that. But they were so close.
They were.
Mike Jackson did really well.
They did a really good job with what they had. I also think by getting rid of Sean Dyche and not having a replacement, it meant Ben Mee didn't play again because he was then part of the coaching staff. I think if Sean Dyche stayed in charge, what did they need? A point?
Yeah,
they needed an extra point. I reckon Sean Dyche could have got that out.
I think Burnley could be in a bit of trouble. Tarkowski out of contract.
Yeah.
Then Mee out of contract. Obviously, they lost like Chris Woods, and I know he only scored like 3, but Weghorst only scored like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Cornet performed for them.
There's no way he stays.
Yeah, he can't be in the Championship at all. But I
Nick
think
Pope, I don't think will stay in the Championship.
He's too good for that.
Yeah.
He's way too good for that.
I do think they're in trouble.
They could get relegated again, just like...
Well, they could. It's not like they've got loads of money to fall back on. They're quite... they could be trouble then.
Dyche hasn't been backed enough. Oh, I say that.
Their depth isn't great, and as you say, I don't think Burnley have been backed enough. Sean Dyche deserves better, but he has the know-how, and the squad has the know-how to survive. I don't think Watford, Norwich, and now Southampton have sold a couple of their big players. I don't think they've got the know-how.
But I'm hoping more than predicting
that Watford will stay up.
Watford will stay up. I want to discuss about the top 4. So...
This is not our finest moment.
Don't listen to it. I don't know why you even subscribe to my channel. Actually, no, stay subscribed, please. Don't unsubscribe, please.
Fourth, who have you got?
I've gone Liverpool.
Yeah, again, do you know what it is? We were trying to pay too much attention to like new signings, and we completely underestimated how good Liverpool actually are with the players they already had.
I agree, because I said...
Yeah. Yes, I have Liverpool as well.
At fourth.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just the signings, but obviously we had no idea that Luis Diaz would come in January.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just down to him that they made like second.
No, they all season, obviously they had an amazing year. They wanted the quadruple, but only had just finished with a double. But they were so close to winning the league. I think we're quite a way off, aren't we?
Yeah, I agree.
In third?
I've gone United. Now, I had that before Ronaldo signed.
Oh, this is probably one of the worst predictions we've done.
Because
honestly.
Ronaldo brainwashed me, Varane brainwashed me,
Yeah.
Sancho brainwashed me, and then we finished, what, 6th?
Oh, such a bad season.
It's worst season in the Prem ever, 58 points. It's just depressing watching United from week to week.
So bad. And if this is another one where we were knocking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the start of the season and saying he's not enough to get them into titles and stuff. But we still felt like he could have potentially pushed them to the top 4. And then Rangnick came in and, oh my word.
It's just
he was hailed as this saviour.
Yeah.
And he was...
That trained Klopp and Tuchel. But I read something online that he was focusing more on the upstairs than he was on the coaching. But now he's just left and now he's Austrian manager and he's just wasting his time, wasting everyone's time.
Awful appointment by Man United. And the players that were signed were, apart from Ronaldo, I think massive disappointments.
Yeah, Varane looked shaky when we did the Euros overview.
Yeah.
He was shaky against Hungary, and I said that in this, and he was shaky against Wolves in his debut.
Yeah.
But let's just roll the clip, see what we said.
I don't think, and I think this is more a reflection on Solskjaer than the squad, I don't think United will better the other two.
I think we'll be closer to the top than we were last season, but we'll finish one place down.
We're closer to like 10th or relegation than
our
the
predictions for our own teams weren't very good, were they?
Yours wasn't too bad. Mine for United, mine for Arsenal was shocking. Because you'll see later when I predicted Arsenal.
Yeah.
If we had a Conte, for example, I think we would win the league.
I don't think we would win the league if we had Conte, but I do think we would get into the top 4 because look what Conte's done with Spurs.
Yeah, 100%.
I know they've got two world class players with Kane and Son, but he transformed Ben Davies, he's transformed Emerson Royale, and he's just an incredible manager who's done incredible things with the Tottenham side.
Agreed. And again, I think it comes down to us focusing so much on players. Obviously, we didn't know that Conte was going to go over.
It's our first time doing this, mate.
Yeah, of course. We didn't know that Conte was going to take over at Spurs either, so that obviously affects things. But it shows what a world-class manager can do.
Yeah, agreed.
And second place for you is?
City.
City, me too.
A world-class striker.
City finishing second, and you saying they need a world-class striker.
Yeah, well, it's clear that City thought that as well, because they spent all summer trying to get Harry Kane and then didn't get him. And now what they've gone and done is they've signed probably one of the, well, not even probably, it's one of the best strikers in the world because they've got Haaland for next season.
Right, I'm going to say something controversial. Do you think Haaland will do well next season? Since City might have to change their style of play a little bit. And players from the Bundesliga sometimes take a bit of time. Look at Sancho.
What, I guess it defines, what do you mean by, how many goals are we thinking would be doing well?
20 plus.
I think he will score just under 20.
Right, okay.
And I think that, combined with the rest of the team's goals, I think is more than enough. I think City retain the title next year.
Oi, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
Early
prediction.
Early prediction. You think City win the title with Haaland at the top?
Yeah.
Lovely.
Be the difference. I think City are a better attacking team, but without a world-class striker to put away all the chances they create, I think they're going to drop points in, against the tough teams, like, for example, Chelsea.
That's interesting because Liverpool didn't win a game against any of the top four, and City just smoked everyone.
Yeah, but I think was it Tottenham did the double over City this year?
Oh, really?
So
yeah. Okay.
It's little things like that which obviously it plays into Tottenham's hands, counter-attacking. But I think next year it'll be interesting to see how they set up because they played a lot this year with De Bruyne playing as a number 9 or Foden. It'll be interesting to see how they set up.
And how Jack Grealish will do in his second season as well.
Yeah, now he's had a chance to sort of bed in. It'll be interesting to see who leaves because they can't just keep on bringing in world-class players. At some point, people need to leave. Jesus, potentially.
Yeah, potentially. Arsenal, Tottenham, you never know.
I hope you have Chelsea first.
Yeah, of course.
Not Arsenal,
Yeah,
no?
of course. We'll come to...
We sound very confident as Chelsea first. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, given the choice between Chelsea and Arsenal to finish first, then yes, I think it was an easy decision. But again, I think it comes back to one particular signing that Chelsea made that we massively overstated.
Talk about Arsenal, don't worry. But Chelsea first, for sure.
The signing of Lukaku, I think that just makes them a different animal completely.
Yeah.
Like, they have a big man up top. If you look at all the best strikers in the world, like Lewandowski, Kane, Ronaldo, they're not all like little guys like Xavi and Iniesta. I know they play midfield, but they're all big guys. And Lukaku's improved on his touch with Conte at Inter, and I just think he brings a whole different thing to Chelsea.
Boys, I'm so sorry for predicting that.
Do you know what? We're saying they're all tall strikers. The difference between Lukaku and then Kane, Ronaldo, Lewandowski is Kane, Ronaldo and Lewandowski actually know how to play football.
Lukaku's just there in the 6-yard box just finishing.
Honestly, he's still thinking about Inter.
Yeah, like obviously we had no idea from the Arsenal performance in this debut. He looked incredible.
Yes.
But obviously Arsenal didn't look great.
Correct, yeah.
So we're basing it on that because we filmed this 3 games into the season.
Yeah, a lot of bias. It'd have been interesting to have seen, before a ball was kicked, it'd have been interesting to see. But it's fair to say that we were way off. Lukaku had pretty much no impact at all.
3 goals, was it?
Werner had a better season than Lukaku, quite comfortably. So, not great from us, is it?
But please stay subscribed.
Yeah, stay subscribed. We'll do better next time.
Top scorer, who do you think will be?
The signing of Ronaldo has kind of made me question this. I had Lukaku. I'm going to stick with Lukaku.
What'd you say? Honestly, what'd you say? There's only so many times that we can apologise. What'd you say?
Oh God! But I was right. No, I wasn't right actually because I said I said Lukaku scored more than Ronaldo because Lukaku scored more than Ronaldo in Serie A in the season before.
Yeah.
But sorry again.
I just think Chelsea are going to be a better run unit, and I think.
And obviously, we couldn't predict what would happen with Chelsea and Abramovich.
Yeah,
and what's going on.
And I don't think we can understate the importance of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And obviously, Lukaku was an idiot, and he did the interview around Christmas, didn't he? Where he was talking about Inter Milan and all that rubbish, and that then affected his playing time, and he just went back to Lukaku of 2-3 years ago.
The best young player will be this season.
At the end of the day, it came down to 2 players for me, and I don't think that's changed recently with transfers that have been made by teams. Phil Foden at City.
If you want to see who I predicted, it's in the video, the original video. So I'm not going to say his name, but Warren has said Foden, and let's see why he thinks Foden.
I know Phil Foden's injured at the minute, and it looks like he's injured for another few weeks still. But I think this year, Pep's going to give him more responsibility again. It looks like year on year, he's giving him more.
I think Varane will be a very, very good signing for us.
So before we get into Varane, do you think Phil Foden has been the best player? Young player?
I don't. There's going to be bias here, but I think Saka in what he did for the team this year. He, at such a young age, had to carry an entire team to, okay, if we got top 4, then maybe it would have been enough to push him over. But my vote would have been him. And again, there's probably bias involved. I don't think Foden necessarily was the best, but I'm glad that he got it because it means I got a prediction right. Which makes a nice change based on the rest
But you got more predictions right in relegation.
Yeah, true. We've just had a bad run recently in the video.
Fred, mate, this guy is all over the shop.
He can't do it. I don't know how he's still there. This is something that people are forgetting, is he was 50 million. He was a 50 million pound player. I don't think he's worth 50p.
That's a good one. That was a good one.
I don't think he's had a terrible season.
Yeah,
so I'd say maybe he's worth 50 quid. But
50 quid?
But, yeah, United need to strengthen there. And we talk about it in the video. They need to strengthen there.
I've seen we're rumoured with Conte.
Okay.
De Jong.
That's a big one, because now you've got Ten Hag, I think, back, possibly.
And at the back, we're linked with Justin Timber from Ajax as well.
It's just, there's going to be like that Dutch kind of link, isn't
But I am looking forward to next season, see what Ten Hag can do.
Yeah, if I was a United fan, I would be excited. There's been a few years now where it's just been mediocrity. For a team like Man United, you need to be up.
Fred's probably played well this season because none of our other midfielders or players have played well. But he has tried his heart out, bless him.
Yeah, and I never knock his work rate. I just don't think he's got the level of ability for a team like Man United.
Into next summer, everyone is going to be looking for those holding midfielders. For sure.
If he doesn't win a trophy, if we get close again and don't succeed in the final, I think he has to go. Who's your surprise star in your mind?
There are a few here, and I think when we talk about a surprise star, I think it's people that we wouldn't necessarily expect to be playing well. So there's a couple. I'm looking at Damari Gray, but I'm going to go with Mbuemo.
Damari Gray started on fire.
He did, yeah, and again, I think that's where having the first couple of games has kind of affected us a little bit, seeing how Brentford started, seeing how Everton started. Yeah, they didn't have bad seasons, but they were pretty average, I think.
Well, Everton nearly got relegated. Lampard, I don't think, is a great manager still.
No.
Brentford did well, to be fair. They tailed off a little bit, and then they came back.
Yeah, I just think individually those players, Gray and Mbuemo, they were okay. They weren't anything special. I think, without question, the surprise player from this year, I hope you'd probably agree, Jared Bowen.
Yeah, he's been
he's gone. He's just a different level, and there's no question in my mind that he should be in the England squad. For the
I agree.
At Brentford,
Rafa, who I think
Agent Rafa.
steady the ship.
I said Rafa will steady the ship. That's shocking from me. That is so bad.
He did his best to get them relegated. Bless him. It almost worked. Almost.
Yeah, I don't know what to say, but he was terrible. He was terrible.
What team will overachieve this season?
Links quite well to what we just spoke about, really. I think it's quite a nice little segue. I'm going to go with Brentford. They'll definitely surprise people. I think they could push into sort of that 10th to 15th.
And they finished 15th.
Yeah, pretty much bang on. So I think they had that vibe at the start of the season that the fans could get them across the line in difficult games. They didn't have loads of technical quality. Obviously, they bought in Eriksen.
And obviously, we were not supposed to know that at the time because we just filmed this just after the Euros.
Exactly. But I think I'm pretty happy with that prediction. I think some people, as a newly promoted team, could have predicted them to struggle. And I would say that finishing clear of the relegation zone without any worry at all, I think that is an overachievement for them this year.
Yeah, I agree. But second season, how do you think they'll...
I think they could be a classic second season syndrome. I think they're going to be in the battle next year.
Kind of bracket.
I've got them finishing at 14th.
Oh, so close.
Yeah,
One place off.
The predictions on that were actually pretty good.
With the addition of Ronaldo, and Varane, things are...
I can't wait.
Yeah, I couldn't wait for the season to finish. Not to start.
Yeah, we didn't let you finish in the video.
Oh yeah, God, let's move on.
your underachievers. Another good segue to...
Yeah, another good segue. Obviously, just talking about my team, Arsenal. It has to be them, really. It has to be Arsenal. I mean, everyone else will probably finish around about where they're expected. But I think with Arsenal...
Where do you reckon they will finish?
For me, the most I reckon we're going to get out of this year, probably 8th.
It's a really, really difficult... I'm just turning into a very pessimistic Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
And because if I go in with low expectations, I can't be disappointed. And I was still disappointed.
So, but at the start of the season, you said 8th, and you finished 5th.
Yeah.
You'd have taken that. But
Yeah, I would have, yeah.
how the season panned out,
Exactly.
obviously you wouldn't have taken
Exactly.
that.
I mean, if you offered any Arsenal fan at the start of the season 5th, bearing in mind the previous 2 years were 8th, I'm sure any Arsenal fan would have taken it. But being in control of that 4th spot for so long and giving it away to who we gave it away to, obviously that hurt. But I think it's a good season. I think that prediction, I'm glad to be wrong on that prediction. And I think there are certainly other teams that underachieved a hell of a lot more than Arsenal did this year.
No comment.
And that's stretching it. I mean, anywhere from 8th to 10th.
Yeah, I've got Arsenal finishing at 10th.
Yeah, I just thought Arsenal, again, the signings that they made, I just thought they didn't look good.
Yeah.
The signings, Tavares, White.
Oh, Tavares has been terrible.
Yeah, but Ben White's been decent.
Yeah.
We talk about Tomiyasu, and he was quite
Yeah,
good,
he was
but then
good.
he was injured for a while.
Injured, yeah.
Who else? Ramsdale, I thought would be like backup.
Yeah, he had an incredible first half. Tailed off a little bit, but I think the signings we made, the profile being young players that are going to develop.
Just like Man United signing Ronaldo, young players.
Exactly.
Lingard.
Varane, all of these really young players that still need to prove themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
We will come back. I like the signings that we're making. There's a Japanese international,
yeah.
Tomiyasu,
From Bologna.
Bologna, who is highly rated. Tottenham were after him before. They couldn't reach an agreement.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say if he's good or bad because I've never seen this guy play.
But he's a young player who's only going to grow in value, surely. So I'm interested to see how that settles in. And that signing basically comes from William's deal.
Yeah.
That's a good prediction.
I think that the players we brought in, as I said, have done well. And I think now it's going to be interesting to see what happens next.
Bellerin going to Betis as well.
Give him time, and I think we will be rewarded. I don't want to see Arsenal turn into a constantly, a managerial merry-go-round. But I don't think this season's going to be great.
Yeah, stand by it. I know that some Arsenal fans are, we had it and we bottled it and he should have got top 4. But if you offered us 5th at the start of the year, I'm sure we'd have taken it.
Best new signing will be. So I kind of changed my mind since I proposed this question in my head. So I was thinking about Sancho first.
Yeah.
But I think because we have so many attackers.
Yeah.
I think they'll be rotated quite a lot. But Varane, for me, this isn't just Man United or Arsenal, this is anyone in the league, by the way.
Yeah.
So I think Varane will stand out a lot more because...
Because what? What are you going to say, Ali? Ali, what are you saying? Nothing.
He definitely stood out.
Yeah, as a sore thumb as being whack. He was so shaky.
What is it? Him and Maguire are, £120 million worth of centre-backs?
It's just embarrassing. It's actually embarrassing. We need, we're linked with Justin Timber. He's 20. See how he can settle in if we actually get him. I feel Maguire is not good enough, obviously. So I think he should be binned off. I think Lindelof is better than him.
I think it's the transfers that have been made recently, even like Wan-Bissaka for 50. Apparently he's out the door now.
Because Ragnick was starting Dallo a lot.
Yeah, and it's players like that were supposed to be, the next generation, and it's just not worked, is it?
Well, Wan-Bissaka's now probably going to go to Congo for the national team. He'd be the biggest star there. Good for him as he returns to Palace.
Lindelof, he just gets bullied in the air. And I hope Varane doesn't obviously get bullied. But I think Varane is a classy defender. He stayed at Real Madrid for however many years. He's won 4 Champions Leagues. And
could have got 5. Could have got 5 if he stayed. Wizzy, your guy Militao did his thing.
Alex Mendoza.
I'm promoting this.
Trophies for days, and I just think he's the perfect guy to partner Maguire.
No, he's not. He's not. No one's the perfect guy to partner Maguire.
At this moment in time.
I'm going to go with Lukaku.
Best new signing, Lukaku.
Honestly, we've said this. I can't apologise anymore.
He can't walk out again. He's come back.
He's a flop.
Yeah.
He's a flop, and I think Chelsea probably are going to even try and sign someone else.
Do you think they're going to sell him this summer?
I don't know if they'll sell him or whether they'll just try and buy someone else and see if they can get it to work. But he just flopped. It's honestly, as bad as it is as a prediction, it's funny to see.
But at the time, it seemed very. We were talking level-headed.
Yeah.
At the time, it seemed very obvious that it would be.
Yeah, because the start that he had, again, I think it would have been interesting if, without any games, it would have been interesting to see. We didn't put enough respect on Salah or Son.
Yeah.
That has to be said. So, Salah and Son fans, we can only apologise.
He will be the guy that turns Chelsea around and makes them title winners.
In 5th place, who have you got for missing out for the Champions League?
I'm going to go with Leicester. I don't think it'll be as close as it has been. I think the top 4 this year are going to be clear.
Leicester didn't really perform this season. Where did they finish?
They finished 8th.
Right.
But
very slow start.
Yeah, they started slow. They had Europe, and I think I underestimated how much that would have affected them. But the other big thing with them was injuries, because they had Vardy out for a long time. Fofana was out for most of the season. Their wing backs were injured on and off all year. I think if they had a consistent time without injuries, I think they could have been in the mix.
Yeah.
But obviously it just didn't work out that way.
But there's a worse prediction for you coming up. I don't know if you remember.
In 6th.
I'd say in 6th, probably Tottenham. As much as it pains me to say it, I think holding on to Harry Kane was huge. If he didn't stay, then I think they'd really struggle. But him, Son signing a new contract.
Dele Alli's coming back now.
And again, right, Dele Alli, different matter entirely. But again, I stand by, if Santo was in charge for the whole season, I think they would have finished 6th or 7th.
Yeah.
Conte got them across the line because he is that good.
But Nuno started with 3-1 nils.
Yeah.
And Dele Alli scored a penalty, and I was hoping Dele Alli would perform. And you're wearing his brand, actually. Boo-hoo. Gone.
Is that his brand?
I'm pretty sure.
Alright, I need to change them.
But good man will represent Dele Alli.
Great.
Well.
Yeah, I still don't rate Dele Alli. You know, we'll see how things go, but they have started really well under Nuno, and that's, I think...
3 clean sheets, 3-1-0. I think West Ham will finish in 7th.
I was very close. Because
West Ham did.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was 6.
Bang on. Absolutely bang on.
Yeah, that's my... I think I got, a few bang on at West Ham. But West Ham's squad at the start of the season, especially when they brought in like Areola as a backup, they've got obviously like Declan Rice. Mm-hmm. They had great Europe run that I thought could have hampered them, because I thought they were bringing a few good players like Vlasic as well. Yeah. But obviously Vlasic didn't play that.
I think their European run impacted on their league season. I think if they went out of Europe earlier, which I think that's probably the prediction you're referring to, is I said they're going to go out of Europe early. So West Ham fans, I'm sorry. They had a really good run in Europe, and I think if they didn't, they might have potentially, well, they definitely, I think, would have picked Man United. What was it, 3 points in it?
Yeah, they lost on the last day, so did we. So, and they could have won.
I don't know if you agree with me or disagree with me for that.
I think it's a close one. I think for that last spot, I think it's probably going to be a shootout between West Ham. Arsenal are probably in that shout. Leeds.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
That's a bad shout.
That's a bad shout. Leeds was a bad shout, but I guess I just didn't factor in that second season syndrome. Like, their first season was so good, and a big thing at Leeds this year was Bamford. He barely kicked the ball, so it's difficult to say. I think they had the worst luck with injuries.
Yeah, like Dallas as well.
In terms of players that, like the number of days players missed, I think they had the worst out of everyone in the league. So we can't judge that in our predictions, obviously, but not great.
But yeah, that is the end of our predictions. Hope that was our first time, so hopefully this next time we'll do a lot better.
We've got some experience, so
Yeah.
when we do this before next season, which will be here before we know it, we'll do better.
But yeah, if you enjoyed that podcast, us reacting to our predictions from the start of the season, make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you later for more.